Okay, guys, I'm gonna come online very quickly. Just found out some news this morning. Um, Listen, man, I don't know. As I've said before, I'm not gonna say I don't know because I do, because I've been studying Jerry Jones's habits for a long time, and it just appears that I was on some work, doing some work on the computer, and I just happened to look up and I saw a link. Yahoo is reporting that Jerry Jones is going to keep, and for all we know, Jerry Jones is going to keep Mike McCarthy as the head coach. It's not a surpriser. Um, this is, you know, Jerry Jones. It is very Jerry Jones-esque. I want to hear what he has to say. Hold on for a second. Let's tune in. Let's tune in. Let's see what he is saying. This is coming from Jason Fitz, so from Yahoo. Let's see what he has to say.
Mike McCarthy isn't going anywhere, according to multiple reports. He'll be returning for another season as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Now, if you listen to any of our shows across Zero Blitz on the Yahoo Podcast Network, you're not surprised by this outcome. Why? I'm not surprised by this. Look, I realize we all see, feel, and hear about the recent blowout disaster in the playoffs, and we want to make everything about that, but it isn't that simple. Look at Jerry Jones as an owner. How many years in a row did we ask, is this the last year for Jason Garrett? In fact, if you look over the course of the last 20 years, most of this era of Cowboys football can be defined as patient. Jones has been patient as an owner. He was patient in the process of replacing Jason Garrett. He was patient in the process of the...
Let me pause this for a minute. He's patient, but he's patient with owners, with coaches, but he is not patient when it comes to players. And we're going to hear the rest of it, but he's not patient when it comes to players. When Jerry Jones feels as though, aided by Stephen Jones, to get rid of said players, whether it's Ezekiel Elliott, whether it is DeMarco Murray, whether it is Dez Bryant, whether it is whoever he deems necessary, Cole Beasley, doesn't make a difference who it is. If Jerry Jones or Stephen Jones give him a convincing motivation to move on from said players, he's going to keep that. He's going to get rid of that player, but keep the coach. So, I mean, what are we saying? What are we doing? I mean, it is what it is. This is what Jerry Jones do in the world of Jerry. This is what he does. He gets rid of the very pieces that will win you a Super Bowl, but he keeps the very pieces that does not help you to win a Super Bowl. In fact, it hinders you. Wow.
Negotiating with superstars like Zeke and then Dak Prescott. What we've seen from Jerry Jones is a much more measured approach than he gets credit for. So now, he has to be measured in his approach with his head coach. It's not an accident that Dak was an MVP candidate. In fact, Dak referenced it immediately after the game, crediting McCarthy for so much of the good that he's accomplished. Yes, this ended terribly for the Cowboys. And yes, there are Super Bowl aspirations. But you also have to look at the record. You have to look at the consistent winning. You have to look at the development and then ask yourself, is there someone out there on the market you're sure can step in with these exact pieces and make you better? I don't think the answer is that simple. And if you're Jerry Jones and you're looking around trying to figure out how to win a Super Bowl today, not 5 years from now, but right now, don't you have to look reasonably and ask yourself if change for the sake of change really benefits the existing pieces that you have? Jerry Jones did that. He looked at it and he made the decision I think many smart, reasonable, and measured people would make. It's better to run it back with the devil you know than to trust the devil you don't.
I mean, there's a lot of pieces there that you can rock with, for lack of words. A lot of pieces there that you can say, hey, it makes sense, which is my other handle, making sense. But nonetheless, the fact of the matter is there is an elephant in the room. There's a situation that needs to be dealt with, and that is the 28 seasons of losing. And your fans have been patient for 28 years to get a championship, and we have nothing to show for but the patience that Jerry Jones has for mediocre coaches. But now I will say this, that Mike McCarthy has not shown himself to be a mediocre coach. He has not. But when you take a look at what has taken place with the defense, for the past few years, the defense, for whatever reason, gets lackadaisical when it is time for the playoffs. This is the issue that we're facing as Dallas Cowboys fans and some of us as analysts. Some people just take a look at the line scheme of things. For one, Mike McCarthy, I will say, we would have won that game if the defense had showed some kind of resiliency, some kind of fight, some kind of dog mentality. We would have won it. But Mike McCarthy also is in control over whether or not these guys are preparing themselves mentally, physically, in the downside, in the downtime of their process towards said game, playoff game. This is on Mike McCarthy, and this is something that he is going to have to fix with his team. There's no more playing. There's no more partying before games. As a matter of fact, everybody now should be on a short leash at this point in time because we can't trust you. This is the bottom line. We cannot trust you to go out on a football field on a big game and perform the way you should if we take the leash off. If we take the leash off, they're going to be urinating on every fire hydrant that they can find in the city. So they got to be on a short leash. And I hate to say it in some cases, I don't know if it was true, but if it has to be the Dez Bryant leash that was said that they had to put Dez Bryant on to make sure that he stays in line, then you know what? That might be the case when it comes to the rest of these players. But I will say one player, and I'm going to keep on saying that they need to get rid of, and that's Sam Williams. Sam Williams is not focused at all, period. So, and also Dan Quin. To me, Dan Quin is going to have to be the fall guy. I get that Chat Sports is reporting that it all looks like Jerry Jones is going to accept Dan Quin back if Dan Quin doesn't get a head coaching position. So it is a lot that is taking place in Cowboy Nation. But stay tuned, man. Stay tuned. More is coming. More is coming with this Jerry Jones and Mike McCarthy love affair. And I guess the stepchild is going to be Dan Quin. Oh, before I leave, man, subscribe to the channel. Like the page, like the post. And leave a comments, man. Leave some comments. I love comments, whether they're good or bad, whether they are, haters or lovers. Leave the comments, man. I love them. Love you all. Hey, man, peace. I'm making sense, but my name handle here is Road Sports, baby. Let's get it. Cowboy Nation, rock. Let's roll.